conservative side, but there's also polarization on the Democratic, on the liberal side, polarization that in fact is splitting both the Conservative Party and the Liberal Party. And that to me, having seen what happened in Chile, the breakdown of political compromise, in 1967 in Chile, nobody foresaw 6 years later the end of democracy in Chile. Yeah. And when one sees the polarization in the United States, most Americans would say the United States is not going to be in military dictatorship within the next 6 years. Yes and no. The United States is not going to experience a military coup d'etat in the next 6 years, whereas Chile did experience a military coup d'etat. But there are other ways to demolish a democracy than having a military coup d'etat. We won't have a coup d'etat in the United States because the military has never played a role in politics. But there are other ways you can abolish democracy, such as preventing people from voting and preventing people from registering to vote, or if they register to vote, making it difficult for them to vote, or gerrymandering districts, or stacking the judiciary so that supposedly 3 branches of government become one branch of government. There are many ways to end democracy.
Yeah, that section in your book was, I mean, it's stuff I mostly know about, but when you put it all together, it's like, holy crap. Especially with, like, although just to push back on that one point, Trump's lawyer, Cohen, in his congressional testimony, remember he said, "I'm not at all sure that if Trump lost in 2020, he would step down." I mean, that kind of implied that, well, what would he do? Just like surround the White House with troops and say, "I'm not leaving"? I mean, I don't think that'll happen. It seems so unlikely, but the fact that it would even be said by his own lawyer is kind of scary.
Right. Well, okay, that's an interesting question. What might happen in 2020 if Trump lost the election? In Chile, he would call out troops, but in the United States, he would not call out troops. Instead, there would be suits before the Supreme Court. There would be what happened in 2000, suits challenging the validity of the votes in various states, and would go to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court would already have a majority appointed by Trump, and the Supreme Court would decide that yes, those states that had voted for Trump's opponent, that many of those votes were false ballots, and so yes, Trump did win the election after all.
Right. Oh boy. Well, it could happen. I mean, yes, that's right. It happened in 2000 with Gore and
I see that as a real possibility.
That's right. Yeah, and that would be undermining democracy. What are some of the other factors? I was thinking about